And Cat showed up just as I'm starting to record. Oh, she wants some mommy time. Hey, funny hat head. Is it hard to get comfortable? Just never gets old. You have such an elegant little face and you're such a funny little bean. You're so funny. You just wake up. It's a summer Saturday, summer night, Pride weekend. There's a lot going on outside. It's fun. There's a lot of excited people dressed up, dressed up very fun, like extra and doing extra. It's fun. The descriptor that keeps appearing. The hairs around my ears are growing. Might be time for a trim. Yesterday it hit after maybe like a 12-mile hike with a friend at Mount St. Helen. And then we went in a lake. And in the lake there was a big driftwood tree, a whole tree. And the body was laying on the tree, looking up at the sky, clear sky. And of course, there was so much around nature, people, birds, trees, all of that. The lake itself, my friend, snacks, all sorts of things that could have been um, shiny objects. of interest or enticement. But the empty sky was this isn't true how it was, but it's just what's going to be said, was the most congruent or symbolic of what? Yeah, I guess I would say the mind. It wasn't the mind, it was the whole, yeah, I can't even locate or it was freedom from the need for stimulation, like recognized itself in like the blank appearance of what is called sky, being sufficient, and the recognition of that sufficiency, or that like how the sky itself reflected a seeming internal experience was itself so I guess I would say pleasurable, but not pleasurable as something added, although the recognition was an extra, I guess. It's a lot of words for something so simple. And the phrase that just appeared was mind like sky. And then it didn't go away, or there wasn't addition of something again or something. And later when we were driving and the friend asked something about the experience, and mind like sky was said again. And trees were experienced in a way they hadn't been while driving. I remember this happening around like dirt in the house. Like what what makes like suddenly it was gone, whatever had made dirt outside okay and dirt inside a different, like not something to do something about or something. This was like there had been an addition or overlay of complexity for a person, like complex layers of subject object orientation with trees around wildness, safety, lack of safety, bugs, dirt. Something had been there that wasn't there anymore. And the trees were shapes. So it's no longer like an alive tree. It's like there's an inanimateness, but there's aliveness. And that's more like the sky. It's very hard to describe. And yeah, And at one point, there was a bridge. The friend had said near the end of the bridge something about how the bridge scared him or something, or it was ominous or something. But leading up to the bridge, going downhill, and it was just a concrete slab basically across a big expanse. There were no railings, it was very basic, 2 lane. And leading up to it, my friend who was driving was speeding up, speeding up, speeding up. Like it was like I felt the, the, the sense of propulsion. And maybe because of conversation earlier about so not like like not actual like threatened suicidal ideation, just like the idea of suicide or like dying as an idea of relief or something. I don't know. But um there was like a mental recognition that like he had the capacity in a way as the driver and with that situation of how the bridge is to just drive off the bridge. And it was like more than okay. Not more than okay. Not in some like wanting to die. But it felt like this would have like turned to him. There's no way to know how the body responded, but like if we were flying off the bridge, like that this would have turned to him and been like, we're doing this now. Like, whoa. It was like an utter willingness or lack of unwillingness or no holding to anything, including being alive or being in control or anything. And then a little bit later we switched and this body was driving and it was really so wonderful to watch the body. It just would like it would check the speedometer, check the rearview mirror, check forward, checks outside mirror, like side window. Like it just did it where it was just had a, it just automatically oriented to keep the car going in a lane at a speed and not hitting anything. And it was effortless and it didn't feel like there was anyone doing it, but yet there was like uh like amazement with the body just doing that. And today, that word feels weird. Today, um, hours. It was like an hour and a half at midday, and then 2.5 hours around like the dinner hour of mind lights like sky and just complete beingness, nowhere enjoying itself, which if others were watching, they would call meditation. and the beauty and surprise of beingness and the complete openness, willingness, flexibility, acceptance of emptiness, by emptiness of beingness. Like the pipes being clean, no interrupters, no, like, um, it's constantly changing, but nothing sticky. And there might be more, it might come again, but and it can feel like each like last chunk or each big chunk is like the last chunk or something. Like there won't be anything else like that again. It's the feeling at the time. It's obvious that there's no way that can be. There's no way to know how it'll go, but um, like the last the last person for this to be honest with, like completely unfiltered with, was mom person, which happened in the spring or something. And like so much, it was just really noticeable. And then just like the layers of frankness and sobriety and like willingness to forego the um like arousal attraction dance with my friend, just by naming it in a certain way. And it's again, it's not like that attraction at times for different people or in different situations or in different ways can't happen. It doesn't like stop it from happening. It was like a sobering up around the dance, around the game, or the basically like um these more subtle versions of kind of using somebody. Like there isn't somebody doing it, but like noticing it, like a use of someone for pleasure. And it, like, what remains is always, always, always so much better. So I like the language. Somebody used the language of like the difference between wanting and longing, like the deepest longing. So wanting can want and it can even get what it wants, but it can lose what it wants. But the longing is um net zero, but that itself is so kind. So it's not, it doesn't actually, it isn't experienced exactly as zero. Maybe at some point it will be, but I don't know, because there's still like a contrast in thought for how it has been or something that makes it quite enjoyable. But I've also said like to people that this isn't a kind of um happiness or well-being or pleasure that there's that you that the system acclimates to, in the sense that it gets old or it it is it loses something. Oh God, I don't know how to describe that. Like you could buy a new house and then at some point the system kind of gets used to having that and it might want the next bigger thing or something. There's not a getting used to it like that where it falls flat because it's not a something, I guess, is why. And that, like, the system like life, like taking the foot off the pedal of that um intrigue game. Um is a sobriety, and it's beautiful that there was a, that there is this friendship where that could ignite in different ways for each of us, and it could be talked about openly, or it was fine if it wasn't, but or it could be felt energetically in one direction or the other, or mutual. There are moments where it feels like it's shared, um but it didn't feel like risk, like there was already so much gone, or sobriety, or, and I don't mean just like sobriety in the classic sense, like a maturing, or a, I don't know, this awakening stuff. It like feels like growing up. And so this was much more subtle, and therefore felt like less, like it didn't feel risky or dangerous. I didn't feel like this was a danger to him. Um, but it also, like it was hit a couple times, like there wasn't yet readiness to give it up, in a way, give up the illusion or the imagination game or the possibility of what, I don't know. I mean, I know, like it'd be like having sex or something, but that's not, it's like in the sex for something else, for that sense of, I was talking to my sponsee about it today, or his version of it, like that sense of being chosen or special, or just getting high. Um, like the chemicals that can run through the body or whatever. Like it wasn't quite yet ready to give up the possibility or the little hits of that. And then it was. And it wasn't striking or noticeable when when the letting go started to happen, because it's a letting go. It's when it's there that it's like something. And what remains is, yeah, it's better than that, and that it's unshakable. I don't know if this word works right, but it's like um not subjected. There's a better word than subjected, not at the mercy of the vicissitudes. Is that right? The vicissitudes of life, or the how labile. I don't know if those are the right words. And it's very clear that that also frees up my friend. Like it it frees up my friends to more fully be all the versions of himself that there are. That this isn't trying to draw out or push away versions of him that might be arising in order to have that dance happen, because it still subtly was doing that. So I can feel that, like, he's freer in relationship to me as a result too, and also like totally free to, and by his side, to keep having that dance, or the desire for that dance to arise. It's so harmless and innocent in some respects, like in the ultimate view. What was that? In the at some like grand infinite level or something. Mhm. Direct experience just constantly solves for itself when life is met unfiltered and with total honesty. It just it it goes in a way that's so kind and respectful ultimately. Respectful, virtuous. I think I've used that word before. But not because it has to, not because it matters, but it can seem to. And it can be the same with anything. It can be that way with like physical pain or injury, or where there's not dancing with it in a like trying to push it away or pull on it. The body will really it heals itself so much more quickly and simply and obviously, and things are rarely at this age of the body and the health of the body like a problem, uh chronic or dangerous or something. And there's like a okayness if they would be, that makes them not that way. It seems almost, I don't know, but it's just a description of like a after the fact or a byproduct or something. It's not, it could never ever be something. I mean, this is what people do to like tell somebody to like do that or be that way. This isn't like, there isn't a person in here choosing to be that way. There's like reporting of noticing how it's going, how it can go. And then also like the relative love for family and friends changes. It's this different kind of love. It's like a gratitude love for their for like one arm on a body helping or supporting another arm on the body to be more comfortable or something. I don't know how to explain it because it like my like family and friends don't feel outside of me. There is this like gratitude and love for the support of life through that dance that deepens the awakening, or uh, furthers the freeing up. And that love feels so much more holy and true and honest than give me what I want temporarily, don't give me anything I don't want kind of love. I don't, that'd be a weird thing to use the word love as, but that's what we do. We, yeah, love is like represented in the algorithm at this point in society a lot as like transactional. And this is more like the ending of transaction. And it feels like such a deeper and more complete love. But also more impersonal in a way, or wholly personal, like the whole, yeah. Oh, I'm not even gonna go there, try to explain that, but not personal to a human, but like unseparable. Your mind like sky again.